So if you were expecting that the former version of Marvel TV would still exist in some sort of fashion going forward, those dreams can now be crushed even further as contracts are ending and characters we love might find themselves in limbo. So as we recently found out, Marvel Studios and the Marvel TV side of things have canceled two big deals with showrunners. Now, of course, if you guys want the full details, it is linked down below. But for the purposes of this video, as we do, I'll make it simple to what exactly happens. You don't have to read through all that and try to understand all the mumbo jumbo they have in there. The overall deals, like the first look and stuff like that, essentially, you sign those with people that you want under your brand, under your roof, and when they come up with ideas, you look at them first. Now, Marvel TV had this with, for example, one of the guys that worked on The Punisher, and the guy that was working on Hellstrom, which has yet to announce when it's coming out and when we're going to see it. Now, their contracts have expired. They're not renewing them. They've actually nullified them, and those guys can go do whatever they want now, which means that since, for example, The Punisher ended, he could have been brought in to be asked, hey, what do you want to do with The Punisher when he's back at Marvel Studios? What do you think we should do with him here or there? That's not the case anymore, as he's been let go. So when they got The Punisher back, or when they get him back, just about a year from now, a little bit less, honestly, they don't have to ask this guy who wrote it. He's pretty much not involved anymore, and they'll do something else with him. Now, this is one of those things where, for Hellstrom, for example, this is bad news because Hellstrom's probably not getting picked up for a season 2, and for the likes of, The Punisher, who of course showed up in Daredevil first, the bad thing here is that he won't be back, but the character might still continue, and just because the showrunners and the people are different doesn't mean a whole lot in the long run. Somewhat, you could argue, because every season of Daredevil had a different showrunner and people, and the main person running it was completely different. So again, this is sort of bad, but ultimately doesn't mean much, because again, if you look at some of the other things in the MCU and even Marvel, there's been constant changes throughout all of it. From the beginning, from the first Avenger, the Captain America film, all the way to the third one, they changed pretty much everything every time around. So again, this is kind of commonplace. This probably does mean, though, that whenever the Punisher shows up, it'll be a softish reboot, I would say. They'll take what worked, Jon Bernthal and a few other elements, and they'll just roll him in, and he'll just be that character. But ultimately, if you're expecting a new season of Punisher or a second season of Hellstrom, bad news for you. That's definitely not going to happen, and I think this kind of solidifies both of those things being done.